Yeah.
Okay? Don't look worried, it's okay. Hello guys, I'm back this year with some new faces. These are first year deaf students. Are you okay?
Hi.
So we've trooped them together and we're going to basically do a similar version of what we did last year, speaking about our experience in first year as dev. Obviously I'm a second year now, so these are some first years. I think they all watched the video I did last year, so seeing if that helped them. If not, what have I left out and what can they bring to help the new cohort of dev students coming up in September. So we're going to start by introducing everybody. Well, everybody's going to introduce themselves. So say your name, what your course title is, and like one exciting word to describe yourself or whatever.
My name is Phoebe. I do international development with economics with overseas experience. And one word to describe myself would be strange.
I agree.
In a positive way.
Hi guys, my name is Destiny. I study international development with overseas experience. One word I'd use to describe myself is diverse.
My name is Michelle. I study international development with politics. One word to describe myself would probably be like bubbly.
Oh, that's cute, yeah.
Hi, my name is Crystal and I do international development with overseas experience, and a word I would describe myself: active.
My name is Barakir and I do international development with economics with overseas experience, and I would say I am simple.
Sick. And obviously my name is Koshesai. I do international development with economics, now with a year abroad. Yeah, I was initially doing it with overseas experience and then we started talking about dissertation too early. I was like, nope. So I've like taken a year basically to prolong the situation.
Best way.
Honestly, it's the best policy. I ain't gonna lie to you. I want you guys to give me words to describe your experience in dev this year.
Thought-provoking.
Infuriating.
It's been an interesting journey.
Broad.
Enlightening. Thanks.
I find it really interesting how you said infuriating and then when he said lightning like that.
I don't want to go off topic, but dev is really a mixture of everything.
Yeah.
Like it makes you feel happy sometimes and you feel angry. Then
Yeah.
It's just
It's
bipolar.
It's like a variety of things that they cover, and like it makes you realize things that you haven't even deeped before, like you haven't really thought of.
Compulsory, but that's because I just feel that it's something that everyone should have knowledge of. The things we've learned, I feel everyone should.
Fair enough, I like that.
The future.
Maybe if you're thinking of doing dev, getting into it now, maybe if you're thinking of doing dev, you probably have an idea of what you're interested in, but you're going to be surprised because you're definitely going to develop other interests that you didn't even have before.
Yeah.
Fab. Okay, so we're going to discuss like the elements that everybody has to do as first year dev. I think that's still the same, we'll find out. And then we'll go into like different modules, etc. Okay, so first we're going to talk about IDS, if it's still called IDS. Yeah, so that's Introduction to Development Studies. What have you thought of IDS?
It's very big. It's the biggest module in the semester, I think.
Isn't it the only module in fact? Well, no,
there's
because there's EID. Okay,
Yeah.
I think it's worth 40 credits,
Yeah.
and EDIG is worth 20. So that's worth more.
EDIG.
Yeah. It'll provide you with like the different introductions to the different areas of
different disciplines.
yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Did you enjoy it though?
Yeah, I did enjoy it. It was because it was so big, they didn't cover everything in depth. It was quite brief in a sense, but it still provided you with enough information to know if you're interested in it or not, and whether you want to take it forward in semester 2 or not. So yeah, it was a good introduction, good first module to have.
I think IDS kind of paves the way to give you, as Phoebe said, like an idea of what you can be studying further when you come to pick your modules.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good place to start, because often people like think, I said this before, like what's anthropology? So having to do it in IDS in amongst all the other like disciplines gives you an idea of like a taste of what you'll be doing further on in the line, which is good, because you come to uni maybe not necessarily knowing, because I don't know about you guys at sixth form, but like development studies wasn't a thing. So you kind of come to uni with interest predominantly in like human geography and poverty alleviation, etc., but it's like you've never experienced that as a whole. So I think IDS is a good module to kick off with.
Yeah,
But that was me.
I agree. I don't know, like I feel like first semester I was just all around confused, to be honest. But I just want to, you know, anyone watching this, you're probably going to be confused, and if you're not confused, then kudos, as in that's amazing for you. But I was just always confused, to be honest. I didn't know how to access Blackboard. I didn't know how to access my assignments, and I didn't want to ask because I thought it was a stupid question.
Use your advisor.
Yeah, just really be as stupid as you want because you're paying money.
Money, yeah,
So
like
if you
ask
want
the
to
questions.
be dumb, like seriously, just stop caring about what people think. But the ID, what was it called? ID. No, but IDS as a whole, it was pretty good. It was just like tasters, to be honest. Yeah, it was nice. It was just a warm up.
I feel like it also gives you a chance to like meet all your lecturers and then pick based on how they teach.
Yeah, no, hundreds. Yeah, definitely.
You get to assess because sometimes the content is juicy, but the way they're talking.
Yeah, no, definitely. I remember like there were some things like I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like really interesting to me, but the way you teach, I can't do. I can't sit there.
You don't want to deal with that.
Teaching is actually really important. Like, even modules that I didn't even think I was going to be interested in, the way they taught
it makes you like politics. I don't know why I took it, but I love the way.
Was it Visudo?
Yeah, and Sarah really like she really made me want to do it. Hey, how do you like the way how is IDS assessed for you guys? Because for me, it was like one big exam at the end.
They changed that.
Yeah, I'm really upset because I feel like I would have done a lot better because what do you guys have now?
So we did a mini test.
After each section. So after economics, they have a test. After anthropology,
to be fair, it might have
helpful.
felt a bit much because your first semester and everything. You have a test like every 2 weeks.
Every few weeks,
And that actual test, like the count as your final, as your final grade. So that might be a bit overwhelming as of first semester, but it did kind of set reality for us and made us realise, okay, it's first semester, it's not a joke. We're first years, but we still have to take it.
Because I found for our year, people were very like,
wait till the end.
Wait till the end, and it's like, if you mess up the exam, you've messed up everything. Do you know what I mean? Because an advantage of having little tests here and there means that you guys if you don't do as well on one, you can pick it up with other things and things like that. Whereas
and it allows you to focus on economics, on social
exactly,
anthropology.
100.
So you actually have time to really scram it.
Really get things together.
Also for the course test, I don't know if they're going to do this again next year as well, but for our economics we had an open book test. So that
Wait. It was like the PowerPoint.
Was it you're not going to that? No, do you know what? I remember being confused by what was on the screen.
He showed the slide.
What he did, he put on the slide for I think 15 seconds or something like that, and then he took it off.
And then
But I found it confusing. It made me confused. So I just did it without looking because I was like, wait, is that? As in it was keywords.
That setup, I just thought all the other course tests were going to be open book as well. So I didn't study for the other two, and I was like, wait a minute. I don't think they're going to give us any open book anymore. So the last one I actually had to study for. And then I realized that there was no big exam, so I thought because of the economics of how chill it was, I didn't think that would count towards the...
but it did!
But it did! So economics, I got 70-80% and everything else I failed, but economics managed to pull everything else up. So thank the Lord.
100
if one of them is open book, don't expect the rest to be. Just saying.
Yeah, that's another thing. Make sure you read your module outline so that you're clear on how things are gonna go, etc., because there's nothing worse than thinking and then you realize actually this isn't how it is, and you're just 2 days before the exam.
Also, in the first semester, this is something I was confused by. I don't know if anyone else was, but we'd received 2 module outlines, and when I received my first module outline, it was the IDS one, so the module that we just spoke about. But keep in mind that you have 2 module outlines to look out for, the EITT one, which we will talk about here.
How did you do written assessments for IDS?
We had an essay that you had to pick and then you just
It feels like
submitted
so
it
long
on.
ago.
Oh no, you get formatted
you get to
first.
pick,
You get formatted
yeah, you
first.
get
I remember that.
And then you get summative
Yeah.
in Christmas.
It was 600
Oh,
words,
yeah.
your formative.
I've
Yeah.
also, yeah.
It wasn't long.
It wasn't long.
It's because they had to teach. Well, I didn't know how to reference before I came to uni.
Exactly.
I still don't.
I failed with my referencing for that first essay.
Oh, God.
I still use my referencing guide to this day.
Same.
No, it's referencing
My
is the
referencing
hardest
guide.
thing.
Oh,
You can't just
Do you know what that is?
yeah.
No.
I use that though. I use
You said
Cycle.
no.
What's a
Also, if you don't know what a formative is, that's like a practice.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Something like a practice exam or a practice essay they can choose. But yeah, it doesn't count towards your final grade, but they still give you feedback on it, which is really good for you to like
Yes.
exercise what you can
Yeah.
do.
But there's little things like in your
And-
formative that you,
yeah.
because even like writing at uni is very different.
Different.
As I said, like you can't write things like can't, it's cannot.
Cannot.
Yeah.
So I mean
That's
little
so
things like
brilliant.
that. Yeah, so my formative showed that to me in my first year.
Yeah. And
Wait, if I was you, use Grammarly.
Yes.
Grammarly's pretty
I put every paragraph in
Please
Grammarly
sponsor
before I
us.
submit.
Please sponsor us. I've never used Grammarly, you know.
Use it.
it's annoying.
It's
Yeah.
annoying.
No!
Yeah, but
It's
like, when you
useful
pull
for
an
me.
all-nighter, like
Yeah.
I don't
Oh, yeah,
want to
true.
pull all-nighters, but like sometimes you
When
do.
you
it.
do,
Nah, I did one once this year. I said never again. How can you leave at like
All
at
of my
7
exams, all
a.m.?
of
Never.
everything.
We're gonna now talk about EDIG.
you dig.
Is that what we call it?
EIDG.
EIDG. I think there's a general consensus. Like, I hate the module in my first year.
The way it was taught was
Yeah, it's
bad.
basically just reports. It's quite useless to be honest. It's not going to teach you much, but you still need to do well at it.
Well, no, EIDG is a module that is kind of
But
like,
economic
it kind of
theory.
gets everyone
Yeah.
up to speed. So I know a few people who went to, well, who came to first year not knowing how to use Excel, how to use command
Really?
and stuff.
That's quite
Yeah,
interesting.
so
Yeah, I know.
that module kind of helped them, and it would seem boring, but really first year is all about getting everyone up to the same page
Yeah,
anyway.
fair
So I don't understand SPSS, but
To this day.
to this
I
day,
As in the number of people who turned up to stuff just went down.
it's just the way it was taught as well. It felt very time consuming, and because we had one big assessment that they kind of did over the course of the entire semester in sections, so it felt like a very, very long assignment. I'm not sure how I would have felt with that assignment being set if it was just, right, we're going to teach you for four seminars, and then the other 4 you're going to have to do it yourself.
Okay.
So I have
Oh
no
yeah, it's
idea for
group
that.
work as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
I
good.
think- Yeah, the fact that it was group work helped me out so much.
Yeah.
So much.
I'm just generally not an advocate for group work because I've always been stuck with lazy people.
Oh.
Provided.
I've been lucky. I've been lucky.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
Some people get
I'm
really
really
lucky. Some people are really unlucky, like myself. So
Yeah.
it just depends on who you're put with.
Yeah, my group was a nice mix.
So wait, you were assessed with EIDG like with an exam, with an essay. How did it work?
Yes.
It was a report.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the exam at the end.
The exam was MC questions, and then multiple
I was
choice.
like, what's MC?
Multiple choice questions, and then an essay
Yeah.
or 2 essays.
Like a few open questions.
Oh yeah,
I
open
think
questions.
one piece of advice I would give is to just turn up if you can to every single
Yes.
EDIG lecture, and also try and stay on top of it. Like try and know
Yeah.
what to do, because at the end I was once again so confused, and it's a panic that you don't need.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just try and stay on top of it,
Yeah.
even if it's just a little bit. If that makes sense.
Even
Yeah,
if you're going to
Pretty
lectures just to like record a lecture,
Exactly.
just so that you have like something to then go back
Yeah.
on. Because if you don't go to a lecture, you then have to be scrambling around like, does anybody have this recording? Does anybody have these notes? And it's just like, yeah, it's good to get notes from people if you've missed something, but people don't learn and write notes the same way you do.
Yeah,
so like, just do things like it's long, but you are here to get your degree. Get up.
Yeah, at the time of when you do the EIDG module, if you do choose to do dev, you're gonna feel like I did, like maybe most of us did, that it's very like pointless at the time, but then try and think more long term. Like you do need to turn up to know these things, trust me, in the exam and stuff like that, because you're going to be confused like destiny and
If you're paying a lot a year, the least you can do is turn up,
Turn
even if
up.
you don't understand. Just
Yeah.
make use of that money that you're paying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As an international student, you pay a lot more. So turn up in general, because like I remember calculating an hour is like £50 or something. If I don't turn up to a lecture, that's £50 down the drain. So I'm not about that life.
Trying
So
to
turn
miss any of
up.
that. Okay, now we're going to speak about what modules you guys picked, why you picked them, how they've been, etc. I had to do the econ modules because I'm doing dev with econ for the time being. I
Yeah.
don't know how long
And
It depends what your original course is.
Yeah, so because I do straight dev, no modules were compulsory for me. So I got to pick 3, whereas if you do it with economics, you get to pick 2, and 1 is compulsory.
So what modules did you guys pick?
I picked humanitarian communication, which is basically media, and it's really interesting. Human geography, and then my compulsory one was economics.
Yeah, I chose social anthropology, humanitarian communication, and human geography.
I did economics and natural resources. Natural resources.
What's the compulsory one?
Politics.
I did natural resources, humanitarian communication, and human geography.
My compulsory module was economics, and I chose human geography and humanitarian communication.
Humanitarian communication is sick. I
Oh,
really enjoyed that.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
10 out of 10.
Wait, why did you do humanitarian?
No, it's no.
Wait.
It's just too.
Wait, tell us.
It's like
Tell us
it's
more.
really repetitive.
No.
It's also like
It
half a
overlaps.
module that they stretched out into one module.
I mean, to be fair, that's what I've been hearing. That, like,
And there's no
basically all
exam,
that-
so if you don't have like,
Great.
okay, so let's say you have an essay based on one of the first lectures. You don't like, I just didn't go because to the rest of the lectures because I didn't need to because you have a
Collect
blog.
first and dip,
You
guys.
used to do first lecture, and then once I found my essay title, I was gone. I haven't been for like
Really?
I haven't been to half of them. It's boring to me.
Oh,
Wow. To be
It's
fair,
really
deep.
waffly. Like I feel like they say the same
Damn.
thing every lecture.
No.
It's
I think
important.
that's the tea,
Actually, I can see why he's saying that. As an economics student,
Yeah,
like,
do you like numbers?
we like numbers
Yeah,
and
that's-
we like
Yeah.
I think that's
percent.
why.
Yeah,
I
we
think
like
it depends.
percent.
It depends
That's
what
what
you're into, and I think, as in everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But I just think people devalue media. Like media is all around you. It's so important. But I think that's more so a problem with the way it's delivered rather than the
Yeah.
Oh no, no, I
content.
get that. The
Yeah.
actual like module is
Yeah.
very important because the way we process
Yeah.
things has
Yeah,
a subconscious
definitely.
effect on
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
But
It is
it's
quite
just
wishy-washy. I can
Yeah, I
sometimes
think
it's
it's-
just a bit.
It's just the way it's delivered. It's
Yeah.
a bit okay.
It's the same reason why I don't do social anthropology. as
Yeah,
well. It's
nah,
not all
I
do
maths.
both.
To be fair,
Sorry.
that's why I think I struggle writing essays for humanitarian communication because,
Yeah.
like, I find myself going back to all the different lectures, like all of them, because they all come down to one thing, which
Fair
is
enough.
like how things are represented in the media. So yeah, I can agree with that.
Well, for mine, when I thought of humanitarian communication, I wasn't sure. I didn't actually know if there was an exam in the end, so I just went to all of it or most of it. And a lot of the time, it was a topic that kind of stretched out. It's like you needed 3 hours, but then we're going to talk about it in 4. So it's kind of like they kind of stretched it, like you said. I kind of felt that, and a lot of times it's expressed, and I feel like it's very frustrating because it's like let's say if we're going to talk about how to represent Africans in the media. It's like, do you use positive imagery, negative imagery, or neutral imagery? And then you're just like, you can't win. And I don't like that frustration. But
Fair
also
enough.
media is so, I would say, not modern, but like, it's so relevant to like the future.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really important to know how you
Especially
express
now.
certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially now because of
And like I feel like in the module there's a lot of freedom to it because there's no right or wrong answer. So like we can ask a lecturer something. Oh, what do you think about this? Oh, well, you tell me. Like it's always like
yeah, there's no clear cut, and I think that's
Yeah.
fair enough in the sense
That's
that
it.
it's just like, yeah, there's no right answer, but sometimes there needs to be. Like, tell me
Yeah.
what, so I know when I'm writing an essay, if I'm not just like writing things anyhow. Yeah, I get that though. It's really interesting that you find it boring though.
I think yeah.
No, it's not boring. It's just
Now you done said it.
It's wishy washy. Like,
Yeah,
it's just-
wishy-washy.
like, if it was
Fair enough.
half a module, like if it took up the space of half a module.
10 credits.
I mean,
I'd
it did
be-
for you.
No. But no, I can appreciate there were some lectures where I was like really interested, but quite a few of them I felt like there's a lecture on social media. I didn't even go, but like when I heard about what happened in the lecture, it's like pretty. I don't want to say common sense, but like you kind
Bog
of like know.
standard.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair
Like,
enough.
you know a lot of the stuff that they say in the lecture,
Yeah.
it's just
A lot of
in
it's quite
academic
common
terms.
sense.
and it's kind of like contextualized. But sometimes I was just like pretty bored.
Even though it can be like there's no one answer. I think it honestly just depends on the person whether you like that. I'm like an English person. I like writing. I like debating and analyzing. So for me, that was my favorite. That's what I enjoyed the most about it. But for someone obviously that likes answers, economics, maths, yeah. So it just obviously you have to see what you're into, and yeah.
First year's the time for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
I
what it's
agree.
for. First year.
What are the modules? Human geography, how's that?
I felt like it had more real world application.
I see that.
There's like modules, there's like lectures on population,
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
This is
demography,
my favorite.
that's
Population was my favorite.
Yeah.
migration.
It does have quite a link to economics, actually,
Yeah.
in a sense.
I feel like human geography is also the more interesting type of geography.
Yeah.
Geography is a little bit more boring, but human geography is, as I said, it's more applicable to us. And
You don't need to know how meanders are formed.
If you like physical geography, go for natural resources.
Yeah, those ones go quite well together, I think.
I did geography for GCSE, and I just remember really enjoying human geography, and I think I brought like that same expectation to the uni one, but the uni one's a bit more serious. Yeah, it's proper like deep, but like they just go off sometimes. Like I don't know, it's just too deep for me. It's a bit too much.
I feel like human geography is like, if you had umbrella terms for everything, so you have international development, human geography, and then everything else. I feel like, because they talk about capitalism, they talk about population, they talk about like governing, which is like in politics, and then you have like
colonialism.
and then you have social anthropology in there too. So human geography is just like another umbrella term under international development over the other modules. That's
It gives you like a great understanding of development.
Politics, yeah, how's politics?
Yeah. I left the second week. I was like,
Oh, really?
Yes! She left me!
I was out.
No. I quite
When you told me
enjoy
what was
politics.
it? The consensus something?
Yeah.
Washington. I was like,
Why?
No, okay, the student stuff was confusing for me because it was all like neoliberalism.
Yeah.
This
Yeah, I think they
Marxism.
expect
And
you
I
to
was
know what
just
certain
like-
things mean. I'm just like,
Yeah.
Unless you did like sociology and yeah.
I even did sociology.
I did that too, and I just didn't. like it.
I didn't get it. But like when we got to like the student stuff, it was, I mean obviously the Sarah stuff, that was more interesting because it was like gender and in politics and in development and like race and ethnicity. That was more interesting, and that's what I did my exam on. So
Okay, cool. Were you the only one who did politics? Did anyone else do politics?
No. But everyone's gonna do politics in IDS, by the way.
Oh yeah, so you get
You have to. Basically, you have to do every part of like every module option apart from humanitarian communication is in IDS. Oh, actually, is humanitarian communication?
Nope.
Yeah, there was one lecture.
Yeah, at the end, yeah. Martin Scott is the best lecturer at UEA. Period.
Shout out.
Bro, he's so
Period.
jolly.
It's so good. Period. Nah, he's the realest MVP.
I think
But he doesn't teach you till second year.
Yeah.
with like some modules, you have to actually be serious if you want to take them. In particular, I think like politics and economics.
Economics.
You
We'll talk
like don't ramp around. If you know you
Yeah,
like you're
play,
lazy, just
get
step
play.
back.
Don't
I'm
do
not
it.
joking.
Just
know
do it.
yourself.
How was econ though?
Wait, can I just say, like, go to everything.
Go to everything.
Yeah, how are you going to tell
No,
us
but
to go to everything when you-
no,
this
human-
time?
No, I have exams for economics.
Okay,
I go to every
everything.
lecture, I record all my lectures, and also it's good to hear them speak about a topic that they know about because they don't necessarily put everything on the board.
yeah.
And it's also good to hear the lecturers kind of like ramble a little bit
Yeah.
because they have so much knowledge and they add like little little facts or
Yeah.
they contextualize.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna say that
definitely.
word again 'cause
Yeah.
they like add meat to the bone. And
Go on.
Like lectures are so important to go to because
Yeah.
PowerPoint
PowerPoint.
is their
That-
abbreviation of knowledge.
Yeah.
So it is useless to you if you don't. You have to
Practically.
go and like make your own notes and
Yeah.
be able to actually understand.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
I have something to say on this. I did, when I was doing human geography, they had, like you said, abbreviation of the knowledge on the slides, but because I was present, I wrote notes based on the slides, and when I went back to it to do my essay, don't do this guys, I looked at my notes, and my typed notes is just the Word document of the PowerPoint. Pre-read your PowerPoints and write stuff that are not on the PowerPoint because
That's
it
good
will
advice.
mess you up. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I regret so much. And I'm
Oh,
just
it's
like looking
okay.
at my notes. I'm like, I have no idea what this is.
Yeah. Like really listen and write down notes that make sense to you. If you
Yeah.
don't understand what you're writing, don't write it.
Don't write it.
Like understand it first and then
And then
process
Yeah.
it and then write
And
it.
put it into your own type of thing.
Yeah, that's probably why you should like try and record them.
Yeah.
Or like do like a group of people where you like take turns to record it.
Yeah.
So then you can like hear what they're saying and then yeah.
Yeah, there's literally no point going to the lecture and copying
Copy the
because you can do that at
PowerPoint.
home.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100. Okay.
Also, those lecturers who just
That's
read
what
from the
I'm
PowerPoint,
Oh yeah.
Guys,
what are you doing?
Wait,
Yeah.
what did you just say?
The lecturers that just read from the PowerPoint. I could do that at home.
wait, did anyone do anthropology? Yeah.
Oh, when they had no slides.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Wait, did
Oh.
I've written the most I've ever written.
No, but she did that in IDS, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no fancy.
She was old fashioned. She needed
Yeah.
a piece of paper.
I like
you?
to
We
need
do it next year as well.
Ich weiß nicht.
Yeah, so basically anthropology, they don't use PowerPoint.
They don't.
But as we said, they're kind of useless anyway, so just
Yeah.
make sure you
No,
use
but
the-
she had a sheet of paper and she just read
Read
it
from
to
the
you.
yeah. That's why you have to
get
go.
that.
Yeah.
You
Like,
have,
for anthropology, you have to. Yeah, well, he's
yeah.
already.
You have to go. You have to go. You're playing yourself if you don't, because it's just like, oh, let me check the PowerPoints that don't exist.
Oh, and the minute we first had her as like at social anthropology at IDS, I've never heard people type louder than anything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was trying to like write a transcript.
I didn't have my laptop by then, so I was like,
Oh,
Okay,
It was
cool.
actually so funny.
I would say try and get a grasp of Blackboard and just how to work
Yeah.
the obvious things. You'll know about Blackboard if you come here. But just try and figure the little things out from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
being confused is the
Yes.
most it's just too stressful and you don't need that kind of
Yeah.
stress. So
And you don't
try-
want to have to.
yeah.
You don't want to have to catch up. So just stay on board from
Yeah.
day one,
Yeah, 100.
and you won't feel overwhelmed.
Yeah,
because
that's good.
You can easily quickly like fall into the hole of, oh yeah, I'm overwhelmed. I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
And when things look so much, you don't know like where to go to first. So I just suggest that you stay on track.
Yeah.
Please do go to your PAL sessions. PAL, if you don't know it,
Oh,
what
PAL
it
is
is
sick.
peer
I did
assisted
the
learning. So it's basically mentors from second year and third year that will help you with your first year. They have helped me so much. There's always a decline in people going, but I have no idea. I went to every single session. They tell you all about housing, academics, who to go to, and they help you with exams. They say, okay, maybe this is what they're going to have, so make sure you study this. And for this module next year, you want to do this, and then they tell you about module selection. They are so underrated.
Yeah,
Definitely
100.
go to your PAL sessions, even
Yeah.
if they're optional. Always go.
Yeah, I went to all mine in first year. Yeah, all of them. Dev referencing guide. I don't care what year you're in. It's
Use
the
it.
plug. Yeah.
Use your lecturers.
Advisors.
Email them,
Go
yeah.
to them.
Advisors as well.
Bother them.
Try to really do make friends on your course.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
It didn't really work that well for me because I only made one friend and she just stuck to me. You know,
Yeah.
actually all these people are my
No, I introduced these two on the first day.
Yeah.
Can you tell the people about the testimony of how I introduced you to on the first day?
So,
she introduced us.
yeah,
on
we
the
knew
first
because of
day.
the YouTube channel.
I knew her as well.
And then yeah, we
And now
literally
they're
came
best
up.
buds. They're inseparable. Come to me if you're looking for
Wait,
friends.
Phoebe.
Oh yeah, so I had, wait, my name's coming up. Okay.
Don't be it's good to make friends, but don't be relying on anybody or anything. People really
Yeah.
have different time schedules.
Yeah.
If you want to do something, I want to do rock climbing,
Just do it.
go on your own. Like
Yeah.
just go, you meet people, you're
Yeah.
interacting with new people.
Yeah.
Make friends from dev, but also make friends outside because university is where you'll meet the world. Like seriously,
Yeah.
the world is here. So you have to tap into that and you can
Lovely.
maybe
Love
utilize
that.
it in the future.
Don't feel peer pressured. I said that already. But some people come into uni thinking, oh, I want to make friends by. Is that coming to what they do?
Yeah.
Is that the word?
Yeah.
I don't know. But if they're like touching you inappropriately or you're uncomfortable or there's like, oh, try this. If it's against what you believe,
Don't
do it.
Yeah.
it is not worth it.
Don't.
It is
Yeah.
not worth it. And
You
don't let
probably-
older years like intimidate you, saying
Yeah.
like, oh, everyone does. No,
No, they
no.
don't. They
Yeah.
don't.
And you probably think it won't affect you, but
But-
when you're away from home and you're on your own, sometimes you know.
Did any of you guys get lonely?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so lonely.
That's because like you like go from home where you know everyone and like luckily I like my flatmates now, we get on really well, but like that first week you have to like kind of like know everyone's rhythms, how
Yeah.
they interact.
Yeah, definitely.
You like the whole like kitchen situation's a bit
Yeah.
new. It's not bad, but like it's
new,
a lot
yeah.
of like new stuff.
Yeah.
And if you like for example, like I call my mum every day. I have no shame in it. No, like I get along with my mum well, so I just called her every day. It was like a good like, you know, like it was good to like reminisce about
Yeah.
the day.
Yeah.
And also,
Mr. Mary.
yeah, Miss Samara. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you just go out. I think that's like the most. I think that's a very important thing.
Yeah,
Because
make yourself open to meet new people.
like Phoebe and Destiny wouldn't have seen each other or met each other if they didn't go out, you know.
Well, actually, like a couple, you know.
Thanks to me. Thank you guys obviously for sitting with us. If you have any questions, hit me up. I'll lead you on to the relevant person. If you're coming in September to do Dev, good luck. Enjoy it. Feel free to pop over any questions. And yeah.
We'll be here. Come
Dev
see
is an
us.
amazing.
Oh yeah, these guys will be here. I won't be here because I'm going on my year abroad, baby.
Just have all of our emails out there.
But yeah.
Oh, please no.
Yikes. But yeah. Thanks
Say
for
hi
watching.
to us. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, join International Development
Society.
Society.
Yes. Okay. Good.
Yeah, no,
Kids,
I have a
yeah,
channel,
you-
guys. If you wanna, she'll write.
Oh,
she'll
yes.
write somewhere. So if you want to, it talks about UEA. Hey, can we all do that thing at the same time?
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Can
I
you
don't-
all
I
do
don't know
it?
what it's called.
That is
Yeah.
what it's
Okay.
called.
3, 2, 1. Whoa. Okay.
You really love it, don't you?